talk about it. Let's talk about this Julius Erving all-time list. Okay, it's a great all-time list. It is an amazing all-time list. He has nothing but legends on this list, literally nothing but legends. But the thing about it, this list doesn't have nobody past the 90s at all. Nobody past the 90s. If you do not play in the 90s, you're not on this list. But he did have something to say about LeBron, and I want you all to check it out.
And, anybody he sort of picks with him to be, playing with so many guys. He's the guy who has led the charge in terms of super teams being put together. Yeah. When he put together a team in Miami, basically put together a team together in Cleveland as well, and put together a team in Los Angeles or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he could pick his own team. I ain't gonna pick his team. Yeah. I ain't saying nothing bad about LeBron.
Yeah, I'm not saying LeBron would argue because I know he.
Yeah. Okay, now we see what Julius Erving said. Like LeBron, he is the reason. He's the reason why we have these super teams. He's the reason why all these players call each other up and say, hey, brother, let's get together. He's the reason why the Golden State Warriors was made. He's the reason why we have super teams now like the Brooklyn Nets. Basically, is what Dr. J is saying. And I have to disagree with him on that. Even though Dr. J's list is a great list, and I just want to run through this list right quick. You have Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Elgin Baylor, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Karl Malone, Kareem. Amazing list. Like I said, nobody passed the 90s. But it's to me, it's kind of crazy if you really making an all-time team list to not have somebody like LeBron James in your list, not even to have a Kobe Bryant in your list. It's pretty crazy. But I'm not surprised. When old heads, I think when they discuss, like when he's discussing with Oscar or Jerry West or whoever, or Bill Russell, maybe they don't put LeBron in the top 10, but I can't see that. I cannot see that. I can see Oscar Robertson in the room and saying, hey, yeah, LeBron is the top 10 player of all time. I can see Jerry West saying, I can see Bill Russell saying it. Of course, you already had Magic Johnson to say it. So, but this is his list, okay? You can't argue with somebody's list. You cannot argue with somebody's list. But to say that LeBron started this, these super teams, and that's been a myth about LeBron. There's been 2 myths about LeBron and me since LeBron been in the NBA. 2 myths. Let me tell you. The first one is he's not clutch. Okay, we know that LeBron is clutch. I see LeBron. We are all seen LeBron hit these clutch shots in the playoffs now, mind you, not regular season. Even hit some of the regular season, mind you now, playoffs. LeBron shows up in big moments, and it's a myth, and it's this stigma around LeBron that he does not show up in big moments, which is not true. And it's another stigma around LeBron saying that he's the one that built these super teams. He empowered all the players to do what they want. I think that he did with that move to Miami, but he was not the first player ever. Okay, this was not the Miami Heat was not the first super team ever. Okay, you can go through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You see these super teams. Okay, Bill Russell once played with 9, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 9 All-Stars. 9 Hall of Famers, not All-Stars, Hall of Famers. 9 Hall of Famers. 9. Wow. 9 Hall of Famers. Not 9 All-Stars. 9 Hall of Famers. 9. That's pretty wild. That's pretty crazy. Okay? And you want to say LeBron started the super teams? You cannot say that LeBron started these super teams. But what he did start, in my eyes, is player empowerment. You had these other teams. You had the Showtime Lakers, which was a great team. I wouldn't say that was a super team, but absolutely a great team. You had the Larry Bird Celtics, which was a super team in my eyes. Of course, you had the Celtics Big 3. That was the super team that LeBron lost to 2 years. Okay, 08. He lost to him 010. He said, you know what? Hey, I'm only one man. I cannot just knock out the Celtics by myself, which had what? Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. He said, you know what? and a great team. Like, you have great defenders like Tony Allen. You have a great point guard in Rondo, which really could have been a big four instead of a big three, but you know what I mean. That was a super team. And who put that together? Okay, the Celtics put that together. That's the problem that they have with LeBron. They say, you know what, the GMs put the teams together, but who cares? I don't care if the GM, the PM, I don't care who put these teams together. Okay, if you, at the end of the day, you will play together. That matters. Okay, it not matter how you got together. The fact is that you are playing together. So if you're playing together, playing on the same team, it's a super team. I don't care who put it together. And so you had the Celtics, LeBron losing to them in 2008. In 2010, he said, you know what? Hey, call up D-Wade. Hey, D-Wade, man, let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. Then try to call Melo. Melo, let's make it Melo, man. Melo's like, okay, I'm going for the bag. I'm not trying to win the championship right now. I'm going for the bag. And they end up getting Chris Bosh. So I'm just saying, you cannot say that LeBron started these super teams. He started player empowerment. Okay, he started player empowerment. Okay, if you want to do what you want to do as a player, if you don't feel like the organization is giving you what you need to have to win, leave. You have the right to leave. And we've been seeing people do that. We saw James Harden this season actually demand to get out of Houston and say, hey, that wasn't going to happen 10 years ago. In 2010 or 2007, there's no way that James Harden can go to the Rockets and say, hey, you know what? I want to go to the Brooklyn Nets, or I want to go to the top contender up in the Eastern Conference Finals for the Houston Rockets. There's no way that was going to happen. But with LeBron James and the movement and clutch sports and all that's going on, you have the leverage now to do what you want. And some people say, hey, NBA players got too much leverage. To me, it's not too much leverage. You are the ones bringing in the big bucks. You are the ones bringing in the fans. You are the one having viewers around the world watching this game, even though a lot of people are saying, well, you know, the numbers are down because they're talking about this and mixing it with politics. Really, the numbers not down if you just look at it, how many people are looking at these basketball clips and watching them over social media, billions and billions of views. And so LeBron James actually starting the super teams is false. It's false. And I know people would say that Miami Heat team was a super team. It was a great team. At that time, I would consider that a super team. Will I consider the Cavaliers super team? No. Will I consider the Lakers last year a super team? No. I would not consider that. They're too top heavy. Only two players at the position. And if LeBron doesn't play, they're not that great. If AD doesn't play, they are not that great. That is not considered a super team. It's like every time LeBron goes somewhere and put his hands on something, or he's playing with someone, it's considered a super team. I don't see this, Dr. J. Dr. J, I just don't agree. I'm not mad that you don't want LeBron in your top 10. It's your top 10. You are a legend. Okay, you are a legend. You can have whoever you want in your top 10. But to say that LeBron started? He started this? Really? LeBron started? He started super teams when he lost to a super team 2 times before he left and went to Miami to team up with Ray Allen and Bosh, and then goes back to Cleveland. You consider that a super team as well? No way at all. Not considered a super team. And I know a lot of people blame LeBron, and he's the reason why Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. Kevin Durant wanted to go to the Warriors because he wanted to go to the Warriors. It had nothing to do with LeBron. You think Kevin Durant was thinking about LeBron James? Say, hey, if LeBron can team up with Miami, let me go ahead and team up with Golden State. No, Kevin Durant made a decision as a man to do what he wanted to do. Okay, and he had that freedom to do what he wanted to do. Player empowerment. If you want to go play with some of your best players, one of your guys, one of your friends in the league, go do it. Shoot. Who's stopping you? Man, you got one life to live. If you want to go play with Steph Curry, KD, go do it. LeBron, you want to play with AD, go do it. Harden, if you want to go team up with Kyrie and KD, go do it. You only have one career to play. Hey, you only have one career to play. And this super team stuff is not new. It's been around for decades. So to say that LeBron started this is just false. And can we please stop saying that LeBron started? He started everything. LeBron did not start this. Okay, he did not start this. He just happens to be on good teams. And I consider LeBron only playing on one super team his whole career, and that is the Miami Heat. Not the Cavaliers, not the Los Angeles Lakers. And if you disagree with me, let me know. I want to know, has LeBron ever played for any other super team besides the Miami Heat, because that Cleveland team in 2015 and their run was not a super team. It was a great, well-balanced team. Wasn't a super team in LA last year, this year. There's no way that you can consider that team a super team. So, hey, Dr. J, stop with the false narratives that LeBron is the one who started these super teams, even though, I mean, you had Moses Malone and all these guys on your team as well, even though they were drafted. They were drafted, okay? They were drafted. They wasn't handpicked by you. Now people can handpick guys and say who they want and who they don't want, which is pretty cool. If you want to play with who you want to play with who you want to play. At the end of the day, man, do you? All right, do you, man? And hey, if you don't got LeBron in your top 10, man, oh my goodness, that's kind of tough. That's kind of rough to look at that and say that LeBron cannot be in your top 10 of all time. But hey, Dr. J, do more power to you. You are one of the legends. If you want to say LeBron not in the top 10, hey, so be it. But I don't know how you can do that. You have to squeeze that man at least in the top 5, man. You need to look at that list, and you need to look at somebody. I need to look at that list. Even somebody got to go. Somebody got to go. Somebody has to get off their list. But hey, y'all let me know in the comments below. Is LeBron a top 10 player of all time? And did LeBron start these super teams? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear you all's opinion.